Hi there, this is Shiva, and I'm just going to show you a little side product. Just occurred to me I haven't really had just done a table just to have fun in PinBuilder, so I sort of made a table myself. The devs put out a ride body cabinet, and it's a ride body cabinet. It's barely sized and Williams and stuff. So I kind of did have a little bit of fun with it, and I just decided to just make a table, and we're going to show you what it's all about here. I based it sort of on Paratrooper. I took the Paratrooper table, renamed it, and just sort of just just started building and just see what I come up with. So yeah, my table was named My Fun Table Num 4, and that's because I accidentally hit the 4 key and then saved it and didn't realize it. So there you go, My Fun Table 4. Anyway, let's just load the table in. Come on, baby. And there it is. And let me show you it in all of its glory. There you go. Yeah, I'm a little nuts, aren't I? Do you know how many freaking objects it took just to build that this railing system? Oh man, I just lost count. As you can see, poor pin builder is just having a little bit of a fit with the frames per second. Yeah, the devs really have got to start work on optimizing this game. It's playable. It doesn't play very good because unfortunately the physics here, the ball constantly is jumping over the rails and jumping over the half heights and stuff. And you know what? It really shouldn't be doing that. I think the physics are just a little bit too superpowered, to say the least. I've also noticed that the flippers are having some power problems too as well. For instance, there seems to be a lot of sudden speed up going on with the flippers every once in a while, and I think especially by the tips. So the devs have got a lot of work to do. But as you can see, oh, she's gorgeous, isn't she? Kind of a weird design. I normally don't do stuff like this, but I just sort of got into a very creative mood and thought, well, what happens if you put a lot of curves in your game? And oh my god, oh wow, what a pain it was to do. This is not a fun experience to build tables in Pin Builder, and I'm sorry, devs, but for Christ's sakes, change some things. Pay attention to what I've been saying here because this took forever to do, and it was kind of frustrating because objects kept moving and trying to line things up and everything else like that. And there just really isn't a lot of really good drawing tools for stuff like this. So yeah, it was quite a bit of work. But as you can see, I got most of it. I'm not too sure about what's going to happen with this one. I really don't want to have to do plastics for this one. I think by the time I finish the plastics, the game will be virtually unplayable. It'll go probably below maybe 20 frames per second. So maybe wait for an optimization or something. I just thought about it. I was looking at the example tables that come with PinBuilder, and to be honest, they're not exactly very good, to say the least. They sort of, well, I hate to say it, but they look kind of like a 7-year-old did it. And it's not a slight against developers. But they don't have a lot of time to make tables and stuff, and I just thought, well, what would happen if you tried to make a table in Builder and try to do it in sort of a professional quality, the quality that you would expect from a game from Visual Pinball (VPX) or a game from Future Pinball or FP. So I figured, okay, let's do that. And let's see what we can come up with, even though PinBuilder's pretty early and still a little bit limited. So as you can see, yeah, I'll just show off some of this stuff here. Whoops, sorry. Professional keyboard. I'm still not quite used to how super sensitive it is. As you can see, it's nice. Look at that, eh? Oops, I forgot to change that rubber. Funny story. If you look at the set of 5 stand-up targets, he says, "Geez, Shiva, that kind of looks familiar." Well, okay, here's the thing. About 2004, I released a game for visual pinball called Trigon. And at the time, we were starting to get, well, you know, some really, really bad people coming into the community. And they basically thought they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they started with me first, but they eventually started on other developers too as well. Anybody that they felt was better than them, or literally anybody they thought that was better than them, they tried to basically chase out of the community. There was at least 6 or 7 major offers that they constantly went after. And one of the things they tried to do with Trigon was to accuse it of being sorcerer. It absolutely looked nothing like sorcerer, by the way. There was no ramps, there was no center target like that. The lane shot, there was lane, one lane shot that sort of was the same as sorcerer to the ABCD guide rails, but there was a second lane, there was target banks, which sorcerer never had, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, I decided, well, I needed something to go with this. So, whoops. And I just suddenly thought about it, about sorcerer and stuff, and I thought, oh, well, let's put it in, and, you know, hopefully those people see it and just get absolutely pissed off about it, and you know, just for the hell of it. Anyway, let's have a quick last look. Oh yeah, let's look at my beautiful curves on that. Oh my God, was that ever tough to do. I don't know how many objects I used. And the only thing I can say is, Dev, I have been right all along about how much of a pain in the ass this thing is going to be. This is hours. And it didn't help that every time you selected something with your mouse, it would move. And so it was just frustrating to get it to go like this, but I managed to do it. The way I look at it is, I think that, you know, we kind of, is that PinBuilder needs a really good, higher quality table, and I just thought, well, you know, let's see if we can build a decent table, pretty much the way that we can build decent tables in future pinball and in visual pinball. A really decent quality, really well put together. Most importantly, was designed to look really nice. And you know, PinBuilder can do it. It's just, it takes a lot longer to do it because you have so many objects. I have absolutely no idea how many of the metal plate walls that I've put in here. I've lost count. Okay. Anyway, I am just going to go into editor mode. I think it's a little bit better because I got my cursor. I can show you some stuff. For instance, let's go in here. Well, you know, first off, the flippers down here. That's basically from Big Game. I didn't really think the angles in Paratrooper were that great, and so I sort of doubled them up and change the angles and stuff. They shoot very, very well. There's a lot to shoot at, so you know, having 4 flippers really works. Over on this side here is just your typical drain lane system, but as you can see, I sort of used I doubled up the guide lanes because I figured, oh hell, why not? And then of course on this side I have this really strange setup here. This was sort of my Gottlieb design, and I just kind of repurposed it for this because I kind of needed something there. I needed something that took up a lot of space and yet was a little bit different. as you can tell, I'm still working on this game. There's lots of little minor things that need to be done, but you know, it does work. It's you know, you've got a nice little split here, but also you have a little little exit back to the plunger lane. So I kind of thought that was a great little design feature. Over here we have our little flip, our new flipper. So we got 5 flippers now. I actually added 2 flippers. And of course you have a little solitary little single target because you know, the posts look kind of lonely, so it needs some company. And then up here we have the first shot. I actually, what I did was I tightened up this area, and then I also blocked it off. I wanted the ball to play around a little bit more in this particular area, so that's the reason why I did it. But I had to move this, the kicker a bit. I wanted it actually up here, but I ended up putting it here, and I wanted it to be visible from a, you know, from a view. If you hit 1 on your keyboard when you're in play mode, I wanted this, the kicker to actually be visible. It wasn't visible up there because this thumper bumper was blocking it. This was in the original game. If you notice, I put a little plate here. I'm going to have to figure something out. The angle of the sweep from the plunger shot when it comes up is actually too severe. So what happens is the ball comes out and then it just sort of hits this and then just comes like that. That was something that I had forgotten about. Future Pinball does that all the time. So did Visual Pinball. But it's not bad. I changed the wire gate to the heavy gate because there's a lot more bounce coming from the heavy gate. If it was a wire gate, it would just sort of drop dead. It would just sort of drop dead. Now on this side, I kept the in lane targets, and as you can see, I just spread them out to take up more space and did another curve. And then of course in here I have a top saucer kicker here. Don't mind the angle, it's just that 3D angle. But as you can see, I put a nice long sweeping curve from the top right flipper, and then also a shot that's to go between the bumpers, and you can go all the way up there too as well. So it's a sort of a joint shot. At the moment, as I said, I'm just still working on it. I'm still adjusting my angles. For instance, between this area here is actually very tough to get with the bumper, so I'm just going to readjust the angles. I'm probably going to move this out ever so slightly more and change the angle so that this shot is a little bit easier. There's a few minor things. The curve is great. I mean, it looks fantastic. In retrospect, I probably would have changed it just a little bit. I may have had the room to sort of make it a bigger curve and then move everything over. But I actually didn't do it. And to be honest, if you think I'm going to be moving all of those damn objects and redoing this again, guess again, sweetheart, because there's absolutely no freaking way I'm going to do it. So that's my game. I hope you like it. Maybe I'll finish this down the road. I really think I better wait for better design tools to be coming out from the devs. Things like the ability to move multiple objects. Oh my goodness, I'm going to definitely need it with this one. And, you know, other things too as well. Maybe the devs will finally give in and give me the ability for walls and plates and everything else to have multiple control points that we can actually add and delete. Because, all of these extra objects are really kind of slowing the game down. So we'll have to wait a little bit. But in the meanwhile, you know, nice game, nice little design. It was a lot of fun to do, and you know, I really the times when I wasn't actually having to put down shape all of those metal plates, it was actually a lot of fun. Anyway, that's my game. There's actually no name to it, no theme. I may do a little bit here and there on this particular table, but for the most part, I think I'll just start work again on April. One of the things I have noticed in particular is the flippers seem to be having some problems with the power, in that they are overpowering the shot, especially the bottom ones, especially if the ball's by the tip and by the base. The tip really can fire that ball pretty fast. And this game, I'm not going to show you to play, because what happens is that the ball constantly is jumping over the rails. It's even jumping over a lot of stuff here. So I guess you kind of need plastics, but really, I really don't think the flipper should be that powerful. I've dropped them down to 0.5. And it seems to be a little bit better, but I had it originally at 0.75, and the ball was just flying all over the place. It actually sort of jumped here and it went all the way back into the plunger lane, things like that. So I guess some adjustments are still needed here. I actually do have new bugs and stuff that I found, but while building this, but I think I'm just going to leave it for the time being. It would be nice to have it'd be nice to have a video from me without me whining and complaining about something, right? Well, in the meanwhile, I hope you had a great day. Today was Canada Day, and up here in my country, and so we had the fireworks and everything else. And if I forget to mention it in a few days, I hope the Americans enjoy their Independence Day. And but in the meanwhile, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to upload this. I'm going to bed. So this is Shiva once again, and happy pinball. Bye now.